Okay, the next concept is abstraction. I hope you all can see the screen. Yeah. Now, what is abstraction? Abstraction used to hide functionality. Yes. You only what is necessary, hide implementation. Right? Give only what is necessary and hide the implementation. So a good example for abstraction is that you have a TV. So if you want to operate a TV, what is that you need to know? Or like, there is a smartphone, right? If you want to operate a smartphone, or let us say there is a radio, right? Right. So what is that you need to know to operate any of these? A smartphone, a mobile phone, a radio, or a TV. If you want to operate any of these, what should you know?
Controls, sir.
Right. So for example, if you have a TV, let us say you need to know how to turn on, right, off, change channel, manage sound. Right. That is all you need to know. Right. Using a smartphone also, how to send a message, how to call a person, how to use certain application. You're good with smartphone. If you are using a radio, how do I turn it on? How do I turn it off? How to increase the volume, how to decrease the volume, how to tune, how to put a cassette, how to play a song. That is all you need to know. Yes. Now, should you know how the things are working internally? How is the motherboard working? How is the display working? How is the smartphone? How is the call going from one person to one person? How is it if I put a cassette, it can play a song in radio? How can I, how does, if I click this button, it turns off? How does it click, if I click on a particular button, it increases the volume? Should we know all of that, or should we just be good with, if I press this, this should work? Or like, you should be given every single detail about how this radio works. ఇప్పుడు మనకు ఒక టీవీ కొనేకి వెళ్ళారనుకోండి, మీకు బేసిక్ టీవీ ఆపరేట్ చేసేది వస్తే చాలు కదా. లేకపోతే టీవీ ఎలా వర్క్ అవుతుంది అవన్నీ వాళ్ళు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తే తీసుకుంటారా, లేకపోతే టీవీ ఎలా వర్క్, టీవీ బేసిక్ ఫంక్షనాలిటీ మీకు కంప్లీట్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్, లోపల ఒక ఇమేజ్ ఎట్లా ప్రాసెస్ అవుతుంది, ఇమేజ్ ఎలా వస్తుంది, ఎక్కడి నుంచి తీసుకుంటుంది, అవన్నీ మీకు అవసరమా, లేకపోతే జస్ట్ బేసిక్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ చాలా?
Basic information enough.
బేసిక్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ చాలు కదా. సేమ్ విత్ స్మార్ట్ ఫోన్. మీరు ఒక స్మార్ట్ ఫోన్ కొనేకెళ్ళినప్పుడు ఆల్ యూస్ లుక్ ఫర్ ఇస్ ఓకే, హౌ టు ఆపరేట్, దీని బేసిక్ ర్యామ్ ఎంత, డేటా స్టోరేజ్ ఎంత, అండ్ ఏ ఏ మోడల్ ప్రాసెసర్ ఏంటి, ఇవి మాత్రం చెక్ చేసుకుంటారు. ఆర్ డూ యూ రియల్లీ నో ఇది ఎలా ప్రాసెస్ అవుతుంది, ఇది ఇందులో నెట్వర్క్ ఎలా కనెక్ట్ అవుతుంది, ఇమేజ్ ఎలా ప్లే అవుతుంది, అవన్నీ అవసరమా మనకి?
అవసరం లేదు సార్.
సరే, ఇంటర్నల్లీ అంటే ఈ సేమ్ విత్ రేడియో ఆల్సో. అంటే వీళ్ళు ఏం చేశారంటే దే హ్యావ్ abstracted the complexity. They have abstracted the complexity. ఏం చేసినారు? సో దానికి ఏదైతే ఆ ఇంటర్నల్ హార్డ్వేర్ మరి దానికి సంబంధించిన డేటా ఏదైతే ఉంటుందో, రైట్, దే హ్యావ్ పుట్ ఇట్ మంచి ఒక కవర్ లో పడేసినారు. సో దానికి ఒక ప్రాపర్ బాడీ ఉంటుంది. విత్ ఇన్ దాట్ దర్ ఇస్ ద మదర్ బోర్డ్స్ ఆర్ డిస్ప్లే వాట్ ఎవర్, రైట్, అండ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఆల్ కవర్డ్ ఇన్ టు వన్ బాక్స్. And all you should know is this basic information, which means they have abstracted the complexity. మనకు అనవసరం లేని ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ని అబ్స్ట్రాక్ట్ చేసేసినారు. వాట్ ఈస్ important for us, only that is shown. What is required for us, only that is shown. Remaining and all is abstracted. Are we clear?
Clear, sir.
ఓకే. ఇక్కడ రేడియో కూడా చూడండి, సింపుల్ గా ఆ లోపల ఉన్నదంతా ఒక బాక్స్ లో ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఇస్ ప్యాక్డ్ ఇన్ టు వన్ బాక్స్ అండ్ దేర్ ఆర్ సర్టెన్ బటన్స్. ఆల్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు క్లిక్ ఆన్ ఇస్ దోస్ బటన్స్ అండ్ యూ విల్ గెట్ యువర్ జాబ్ డన్. అంతేగాని ఈ బటన్ క్లిక్ చేసినప్పుడు ఏ వైర్ నుంచి ఏ సర్క్యూట్ నుంచి ఏది కాల్ అవుతుంది అవన్నీ మనకు అనవసరం. సో షో ఓన్లీ వాట్ ఈస్ నెసెసరీ అండ్ హైడ్ ద కాంప్లెక్సిటీ. దట్ ఈస్ ద కాన్సెప్ట్ ఆఫ్ అబ్స్ట్రాక్షన్. Right now, people, you should not get confused between encapsulation and abstraction. Encapsulation law, you are protecting the data, right, providing a security to the data. Hiding the data, ikkada hiding the implementation, right. Abstraction law, hiding the implementation. When it comes to encapsulation, it is mostly hiding the data. Right, we should be very clear. Encapsulation లోను abstraction లోను confusion ఉండకూడదు. Right, so ఇప్పుడు how can I abstract certain thing? How can I abstract certain functionality? So in programming languages like Java and all, like, you can provide a proper understanding to it. But again, Python lo vachesi, when it comes to abstraction, you don't have that deep meaning to abstraction basically. Okay, so basically, so in order to explain abstraction, right, we need to know what is a abstract class and abstract method. Abstract. This abstraction is not dealing with variables. It is only deals with method and a class level. Sarena? So when it comes to encapsulation, it mostly deals with variables, like, the private data, public data, atla. But when it comes to methods, it is mostly with when it comes to abstraction, it mostly deals with methods. It mostly deals with methods, right? All right, right. So when it comes to abstraction, so we should know about two concepts. What is abstract method and what is a abstract class, right? First, let us look at what is a abstract method. What is a abstract method? In Python, we use a decorator called abstract method. You remember we used decorators like static method, class method. In the same way, for abstraction, we use abstract method. Okay, so abstract method, def method name you can give whatever you want, right? Same self, and it can have a parameters, and then there is no body for it. You just say pass. There is no body for it. Now, with this, if you just define a method like this, this becomes a abstract method. Abstract method. Only definition, but no functionality. No functionality. Okay. Only definition, but no functionality. Right. So you have not defined any you have not derived this method. You have just defined this method with only a signature, that is def method name and certain parameters, and that's it. Right? You are not calling any of it. You're not provided body for it. You are not provided body for it. And this is nothing but an abstract method. You have to use a decorator. You have to name the method. And if you want to give any parameters, you can give the parameters, but the functionality will not be there. The body would not be present. So if you have to just mention it as pass and nothing more. Okay. Now this becomes a abstract method. Okay. And any class with at least one abstract method, will become abstract class. Will become abstract class. An abstract class cannot be these are certain rules. Any class with at least one abstract method, right? A class can contain one or more abstract methods. Okay. But if it even contains one abstract method, then that class becomes abstract class. And an abstract class cannot be instantiated. An abstract class cannot be instantiated. Are we clear?
Clear, sir.
Yes,
Clear,
sir.
sir.
Meaning you cannot create an object for a abstract method. You cannot create an object for an abstract class, Now, when do I use abstract method? Right. Now, let us say you are going to make a radio, a small radio, right? Or let us say calculator. Let us say calculator. Now, let us say the calculator, there are different companies, right? Different companies. Casio, brand something like, brand 1, brand 2, and so on. There are different brands. But ultimately, everybody should follow same standard, which is every calculator should have plus, minus, multiplication, division, right? And so on. It's not like, this Casio is coming up with plus minus. Here I'm going to call plus, or I'm going to call for minus, subtract, right? And in the other brand, they are not going to call minus as a plus or plus as a minus, right? We have to follow certain standards. You have to follow certain standards. For plus, for addition, you have to call it as an addition. For subtraction, you have to call it as a subtraction, right? So you have to bring in certain standard behavior on the classes. Now, these are all the calculator classes. And if as a customer, if you buy, will you learn like, different concepts on different calculators? No, you expect all the calculators to be behaving same, to be behaving same. For example, if you take, all right, so for common, okay, for example, let us take a mobile phone, right? Now, you all expect the mobile phones to work as is, right? So if you just click on a green button, dial a number, click on a green button, it should make a call to the number that you have given, right? And if you click a red button, it should disconnect, right? Is this same for all the mobile phones, or every mobile phone comes up with its own color?
Same, sir.
రైట్, ప్రతి ఫోన్ కి ఇదే ప్యాటర్న్ ఉంటుంది, కొత్త ప్యాటర్న్ తో దే డోంట్ కమ్. వై? బికాస్ దెర్ ఇస్ అ స్టాండర్డైజేషన్. దెర్ ఇస్ అ స్టాండర్డైజేషన్. ఇప్పుడు మీకు ఒక కీప్యాడ్ ఉంటుంది. వాట్ ఈస్ ద ఆల్ఫాబెట్స్ ఎప్పుడైనా ఆర్డర్ లో ఉంటాయా లేకపోతే ర్యాండమ్ గా ఉంటాయా? Random. That's a QWERTY keypad style basically. So every mobile phone or the any laptop, they all follow the same keypad style. Now it doesn't say like, I'm a Samsung, I will write alphabets A, B, C, D in a sequence. I'm Apple, I'm going to come up with a QWERTY. I'm some other company, I'm going to come up with a different pattern. So if that is how the phones work, you cannot stick to one particular pattern. So there has to be someone who standardizes things and forces people to implement the same way, so that people like us will not face any trouble, will not face any trouble. Right? For TV also, if you just increase the volume, it should increase the volume. Now if you press plus and if it decreases, if you plus minus, if it increases, is that what you expect?
No, sir.
Right? Certain behaviors has to be normalized, certain behaviors has to be standardized and same for every one. Okay, right. So for example, let us take a shape class. Let us take a shape class. Now let us take something called shape. What are the different shapes?
Triangle. Circle.
Square.
Where is
Right, there are different shapes. Now if I have to draw a circle, right, I should just say draw and it should draw circle. And if I have to say draw a triangle, I should just say draw a triangle. Right? Same goes for rectangle, pentagon, or square, whatever. Now, all of this, we have to use a simple term called draw. That way, it can draw whatever is the shape. Now, for rectangle, they say draw rectangle. For triangle, they say draw triangle. For circle, they say draw triangle, circle or shape circle. If every class comes up with its own functionality, right, it becomes problem. You have to learn every class's behavior. Why should we learn? Because they're all shapes, they should all have the same behavior, they should all have the same behavior. We should not have a different functions to do the same job in different class, which means as a developer you have to standardize how the function should be written. But how do you ensure that you standardize it? You are writing circle class, someone else is writing rectangle class, someone writing a square class. There are three different developers who are working. Muggur developers different classes మీద వర్క్ చేస్తున్నారు, and they can write the way they like. They can write the way they like. మీరు తెలుగు లైన్ మీరు తెలుగులో తెలుగు నేమ్ రాసుంటారు అనుకోండి, ఇక్కడ హిందీ వాడు వచ్చేసి వాళ్ళు హిందీ నేమ్ రాసుంటారు అనుకోండి, ఇంకా సమ్ ఇండోనేషియన్ గై కమ్స్ అండ్ రైట్స్ ఇన్ దమ్ ఇండోనేషియన్ లాంగ్వేజ్. Now, someone like me who is going to use your application to draw shapes, right? For me, it should be straightforward. I select circle, I select draw, and then it has to draw the circle. I select triangle, I select draw, it has to draw the triangle, right? And that is how simple it should be. For if I say select instead of draw, I have to say something else, then that is a problem. There is no standardization. So when it comes to applications, it is, when you write certain programs, there has to be standardized approach. There has to be standardized approach, and you have to ensure that whoever is, if at all, if shapes you're drawing, every shape class should have the same patterns. It should have the same pattern. Are we clear? Okay. Now, how do I say that? Now, what do we say? An abstract class cannot be instantiated. And what is an abstract class? An abstract class with at least one abstract method will become a abstract class. An abstract class cannot be instantiated, right? And we know what is a abstract method. Now, what we are going to do in order to define an abstract method, I'm going to create a class called shape. In this shape, I'm going to inherit from something called ABC class. ABC class. ABC class means abstract base class. For that, we have to import from ABC. Import. These are built in. We don't have to write. These are built in and we can import. ABC is a module that is there in Python. From that, we are importing a class called ABC. From ABC module, import ABC. And I have written a shape class and I'm basically inheriting from the ABC, basically inheriting from ABC. Am I clear? So here we are going to define
Yes, sir.
our abstract methods. We are going to define our abstract methods. How do you define an abstract method? Right? You can also import abstract method. From ABC, you can also import abstract method. So what I'm going to say is @ abstract method def draw. Okay, and we are just saying pass. Now what by this, what now shape class cannot be instantiated. A shape class cannot be instantiated because it has an abstract method in it. It has a abstract method in it. Any function with at least one abstract method will become a abstract class. This is a abstract class. Now abstract class cannot be instantiated. So you cannot use a shape. You create an instance of a shape and say draw. Which shape should it draw? There is no, you have not given a shape. Right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say class circle inherits from shape. Once it inherits from shape, this method also gets inherited into circle class. This method also gets inherited into circle class. Now, can I instantiate? I have not written anything here. I just said pass. Can I instantiate a circle class?
No, sir.
Why?
It is abstract method is used.
Circle class also has the abstract method, and if it has an abstract method, that class becomes an abstract class. What we do? I have to override this draw method. I have to override this draw method. Def draw, right? Print drawing circle. So which means now you instantiate now. Your abstract method is overridden and provided a body. You have used the same method name and you have overridden it and provided a body to it. And now now circle is no more abstract class. Circle is no more a abstract class. Yes, you can define a circle, and if you say draw, c dot draw, it is going to draw a circle. Now in the same way, class shape. I'm anybody who is have to implement a shape class. I am saying, like, you have to inherit, sorry, anybody who is implementing a new shape. I'm saying, like, you have to mandatorily inherit from the shape class. That way you will be forced to follow certain standards. You will be forced to follow certain standards. Now, for someone who is using these classes, they should not worry about how the what is the class name, what is the method name in each of this shape. They don't have to worry about it. You have hidden the complex. All you have told is like, boss, it is a shape. Then just call the draw method. It is going to draw whichever class, whichever shape class you have going to instantiate. It is just going to draw that shape for you, right? But they should not say worry about what is the function, what is the different thing. All they have to do is just call draw method on any of the shape class, and then it has to just work fine. It has to just work fine. Now user should not worry about what is the functionality provided inside. All he has to know is I should call a draw function. It draws a circle. I should call a draw function on a triangle. It is going to draw a triangle. That is all they should be aware of. Am I clear? Right. So we'll just try this. Right. Another thing is that an abstract method can contain both. There are two kinds of methods: abstract method, concrete method. Abstract method, concrete method. Abstract method with @ abstract method decorator with no implementation or body. Concrete method without any decorator with implementation. Clear. So an abstract class can contain abstract method or a concrete method, right? But at least if it contains one abstract method in it, it becomes an abstract class. An abstract class cannot be instantiated, right? Okay. Now let us just try the implementation part. One moment. So first, let us see the problem statement. I'm going to have a class called shape, right? And I'm going to say def draw. It's going to say class, nothing much. Now inherit from shape, right? Right. So circle print X. It is just going to work fine. Okay. This is going to, you're still able to create an object because they are not abstract classes and it is not forcing you to create a method. It is not forcing you to create a method. Right? It is not forcing you to create a method and it is not neither giving any output. It is neither giving any output. Right. Right. So it is not controlling anything. So what did I say? We have want to standardize something. So here what I'm going to say, shape, circle, right? Triangle, drawing triangle, drawing here. The method name is draw triangle. Here the method name is shape circle, and another class comes up with it. Now this is written by someone, this is written by someone, because there is no standardization. There is no standardization. Right? There is no standardization. Now what we are going to do, right? So if I say x dot draw, it doesn't have anything. For circle, I'm going to call a function called shape circle, right? Right, it is working, but the thing is, at one place I'm calling shape circle, another place I'm calling draw, another place I'm calling draw triangle, but technically they're all children of the same class, which is the shape class. Why should it have a different functionality? Different functionality. It should not have that. But since there is no rule or there is no control, but I have to find some way where anybody who is inheriting from shape, they have to implement certain, they have to override certain class. Otherwise, the basic object creation itself will not work. Basic object creation itself will not work. Let us see. Now what I'm going to make this shape class is an abstract class. Okay. Now what I'm going to do for this shape class, I'm going to inherit from ABC, abstract base class. And here the draw method, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make it as an abstract method. Okay. Now I'll see if I have made the shape class as an abstract base class, and I have made the draw as an abstract method, which means the shape class has abstract method, and it can also have a concrete method. Shape class object print is instance of. It will basically tell whether it is an object of shape class or not. Now I'm going to run this. Now if you see, the moment I try to execute it throws an error. Circle type cannot instantiate abstract class circle with abstract method draw. Now circle class is being forced to implement the draw method. Circle class is forced to implement draw method. Until this draw method is implemented, you cannot create a object for a circle class. Now instead of that, what I'm shape circle, I'm just going to call it as a draw method. I'm just going to call it as a draw method. Now circle, it doesn't have a problem. Perfect, right? Here it is a thing. There's no shape circle. What I'm going to do is draw. What I'm going to do is draw. Now circle and square, we are good because square also has a draw method. But triangle has something else. Triangle has draw triangle, and when I try to create an object for triangle, what does it say? Cannot instantiate abstract class triangle. So which means I have to override the draw method because I'm inheriting from shape class, and shape class is insisting on overriding the draw method. Otherwise, it will not help us to create the object. Now that's it, right?
Yes, sir.
Now I'm going to call draw method on triangle also. Now this can run without any problem. This can see X also I'm calling draw. Y also I'm calling draw. Z also I'm calling draw. Now z dot explain, right? Y dot explain, x dot explain. Let us see if they belong to the shape class. What did we say? This is a shape class object. Is instance of this will basically tell true or false. Is it this self is nothing but the object? Now, is it an object? Is this object instance of or an object of a shape class? This is going to just say true. Right? This is the shape class object true. This is the shape class object. This is the shape class. All these three objects z, x, and y. All these three are though they are instances of circle, but technically they are also instances of shape. Why? Because circle, square, and triangle are also inheriting from the shape class, which means these objects also are the instances or the objects of a shape class. That is the reason you are seeing this as true. Now, if it is a shape class, all I need to know is that just call the draw method and you have the functionality ready. So you don't have to worry about how it is drawing a circle, how it is drawing a rectangle, how it is drawing a square. All you should know is just call the draw method, you are good to go. Just call the draw method, you get what you have to get. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Clear, sir.
Clear, sir.
Right? Now, abstraction will help us to insist the subclasses to implement certain functionality with a certain name. They cannot have their own functionality with any random name that they want. It is forcing people to implement the functionality with certain name. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, that is how you enforce people to follow certain rules. That is how it enforces people to follow certain rules. Right? Otherwise, anybody will go ahead and implement in any format or any way they want. You want to insist people to implement it in certain fashion, and that is what you do it. Right? Okay. Now, this is about abstract class. This is about abstract class. Now, I want you guys to write a application. Banking application. What all you have written, right? You have written already a piece of code here in the yesterday's thing. Now I want you to standardize. See, um there can be a SBI bank, there can be um Andhra Bank, there can be Union Bank, there can be XYZ Bank, whatever. There can be n number of banks. But in any banks, deposit means deposit, withdraw means withdraw. Right? Check balance means check balance. They don't call it with the different names. They follow standard procedure. Right? Now you have to create one bank parent class where you will, or customer parent class or whatever. So I want you to provide or standardize the certain functionality. Without that, you will not that particular new bank, whichever is getting created, should not be instantiated. Now let us say, so what is abstraction? Okay, now let us say you are going to take, right, there are certain standards applied when it comes to so you have this KFC, right? You all know about what is KFC. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
KFC అందరికీ తెలుసు కదా,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
రైట్? సో జనరల్ గా ఇప్పుడు ఎవరైనా కేఎఫ్సి తీసుకోవాలనుకోండి, సో ర్యాండమ్ గా నేను కేఎఫ్సి తీసుకునేసి ఒక చిన్న షాప్ లో పెడతానంటే వాడు ఇవ్వడు. ఒక చిన్న రూమ్ లో నేను కేఎఫ్సి అని బోర్డు వేసి పెడతానంటే వాడు ఇవ్వడు. ఒక కేఎఫ్సిగా ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు స్టార్ట్ వన్ ఇన్ అనంతపూర్ లో చెయ్యాలి అంటే కన్నా, ఒక కేఎఫ్సి వాడు ఏం చెప్తాడంటే మినిమం ఇన్ని స్క్వేర్ ఫీట్ స్పేస్ ఉండాలి. అండ్ అంత స్క్వేర్ ఫీట్ స్పేస్ ఉన్నాక నేను చెప్పిన చోటే కౌంటర్ ఉండాలి, నేను చెప్పిన చోటే ఈ హోర్డింగ్స్ పెట్టాలి, నేను చెప్పిన చోటే ఇది ఉండాలి, నేను ఇచ్చే చికెనే వాడాలి, నేను ఇచ్చే ఆయిలే వాడాలి, నేను చెప్పినన్ని మినిట్సే నువ్వు దాన్ని డీప్ ఫ్రై చేయాలి. దెర్ విల్ బి సో మెనీ రూల్స్, there will be so many rules. Only if you comply with so many rules, మీరు అన్ని రూల్స్ కి ఒప్పుకొని అండ్ మీ దగ్గర అంత ల్యాండ్ స్పేస్ ఉండి అండ్ అలాగే వాళ్ళు చెప్పినట్టుగానే మీరు చేసుకోగలిగితే మాత్రమే he will give you that license to establish your own store, your own outlet. ఓకే, లేకపోతే యూ కెనాట్ క్రియేట్ దట్ అవుట్లెట్. మీ దగ్గర వాటి మినిమం 3000 స్క్వేర్ ఫీట్ ల్యాండ్ కావాలి అంటే యూ షుడ్ హ్యావ్ దట్ 3000 స్క్వేర్ ఫీట్ స్పేస్. అది లేకపోతే యూ కెనాట్ క్రియేట్, యూ కెనాట్ హ్యావ్ దట్ అవుట్లెట్. ఓకే, నౌ హూ ఈస్ పుట్టింగ్ దోస్ రూల్స్? ద వన్ హూ ఇస్ ద ఓనర్ ఆఫ్ ద కేఎఫ్సి, వేర్ వాడికి ఏంటి జనరల్గా నా కస్టమర్స్ ఇక్కడ బెంగళూరు కేఎఫ్సికి వచ్చినా, అనంతపూర్ కేఎఫ్సికి వెళ్ళినా, చైనాలో కేఎఫ్సికి వెళ్ళినా, యుఎస్లో కేఎఫ్సికి వెళ్ళినా, దే ఆల్ షుడ్ గెట్ ద సేమ్ టేస్ట్, దే ఆల్ షుడ్ హ్యావ్ ద సేమ్ ఫీలింగ్, దే ఆల్ షుడ్ గెట్ ద సేమ్ అంబియన్స్. అలాంటప్పుడు సంబడి హ్యాస్ టు మెయింటైన్ దట్ స్టాండర్డ్ కదా, రైట్?
Yes, sir.
అలా స్టాండర్డ్
So,
మెయింటైన్ చేయాలన్నప్పుడు ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు ద కేఎఫ్సి కంపెనీ సేయింగ్ నేను ఒక అవుట్లెట్ పెట్టాలనుకుంటున్నాను అంటే మీరు ఏం చేయాలంటే యూ హ్యావ్ టు ప్రతి ఒక్క దానికి మీరు యూ షుడ్ హ్యావ్ ద రెస్పెక్టెడ్ గివెన్ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ ల్యాండ్, గివెన్ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ సర్టెన్ మనీ, వాట్ ఎవర్, ప్రతి ఒక్కటి వాళ్ళ స్టాండర్డ్స్ తగ్గట్టుగా మీరు చేస్తేనే మీకు కేఎఫ్సి అవుట్లెట్ పెట్టుకోవడానికి లైసెన్స్ వస్తుంది, లేకపోతే రాదు. ఓకే, in the same way abstract methods కూడా మీకు it will apply abstract class ఏదైతే క్రియేట్ చేస్తాం కదా by inheriting from the ABC class which is the abstract base class, అందులో you can create many abstract methods and you have to ensure that ఇప్పుడైతే ఎవరైతే abstract method ని inherit చేసుకుంటారో, abstract class ని inherit చేసుకుంటారో, you are forcing those classes to create implementation for all the abstract methods. Only if all the abstract methods are provided with the body, provided with the implementation, only then it is eligible for creating an object. Otherwise you cannot create an object. Okay,
Okay, sir.
right? It is basically
Yes.
standardizing certain things so that మీరు బెంగళూరు కేఎఫ్సికి వచ్చినా you just say give me a certain particular item పేరు ఉంటుంది. సో మీరు బెంగళూరుకి వచ్చినా, అనంతపూర్కి వచ్చినా, యుఎస్కి వెళ్ళినా, ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళినా అదే పేరే ఉంటుంది, రైట్? యూ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ టు వరీ అబౌట్ అది వాళ్ళ ఆయిల్ ఎంతసేపు డీప్ ఫ్రై చేస్తున్నారు, ఏ ఆయిల్ వాడుతున్నారు, గ్రౌండ్నట్ ఆయిల్, సన్ఫ్లవర్ ఆయిల్. దట్ ఈస్ నాట్ నెసెసరీ ఫర్ us. You don't have to think about complexity. All you have to know is I'm going to order this item and I'm going to get the same taste. Whether it is in Bangalore, China, UK, US, ekkaduna kuda it has to give the same taste. All you have to standardize is you create, మీరు ఫాలో అవ్వండి ఇన్ని మినిట్స్ ఈ ఆయిల్ ఇదే వాడాలి, అదే వాడాలి, ఎవ్రీథింగ్ యూ ఫాలో. బట్ యాజ్ అ యూజర్, యాజ్ అ కస్టమర్ మీరు కేఎఫ్సికి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు ఇఫ్ యూ సే ఐ వాంట్ దిస్ ఎక్స్ ఐటమ్, యూ ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ సర్టెన్ టేస్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ ఇట్ అండ్ ఇట్ షుడ్ బి ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ లైక్ దట్. అంతే కదా, యూ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ టు వరీ అబౌట్ ఏం చేస్తున్నారు, ఏం మసాలా వేసినారు, హౌ ఆర్ యూ డూయింగ్ దిస్. యూ డోంట్ నీడ్ టు నో ఆల్ ఆఫ్ దట్. యూ ఆర్డర్ దిస్, యూ ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ ఇట్ టు బి గుడ్, right? That is all about hiding the complexity and giving what basic information of what is needed for the user. Okay, ikkada basic information of the indaka shape class lo, what is the basic information that is needed for the user to know? That it supports a draw method. If you call the draw method, it is going to draw a circle class, triangle class, or whatever. Okay, you don't need to know about how is it drawing the circle, how is it drawing the triangle. No, avanta internal details manaku avasaram ledhu. All you should know is it is a shape class. These objects are shape classes objects, and I call the draw method, it should draw the circle. I call the draw method on triangle, it should draw the triangle. That is how simple it should be. చెప్తున్నానంటే ఇప్పుడు ఈ ఒక బ్యాంక్ క్లాస్ అనేది మీరు క్రియేట్ చేయాలి. ఓకే, ఆ బ్యాంక్ లో నుంచి యూ కెన్ క్రియేట్ a SBI class. What is this? You can create Okay, bank class. I don't know what is happening. One moment. You provide all the standardizations in the bank, and here you can, or you can call this as RBI, right? And every bank should adhere with the RBI rules. లేదంటే మీరు బ్యాంక్ క్రియేట్ చేయలేరు, which means మన ప్రోగ్రామటికల్ టర్మ్ లో మాట్లాడాలి అంటే మీరు బ్యాంక్ కి ఇన్స్టెన్స్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేయలేరు. So there can be a SBI, there can be Union, there can be right. There are so many banks, right? So these you have to create certain rules, certain standards in the bank, and you have to inherit that bank into each one of these bank specific classes. And if and only if all these SBI, Union, Access, HDFC follows and implements that abstract methods, only then we can create objects for this bank classes. Otherwise it will not allow to create objects with this bank classes, which means they cannot be created. They cannot be created. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Right now, why am I saying I'm not? I have told how this homework should look like, how this should work. Okay, but what should go into this bank class? I'm asking you guys to think and write about it. You guys to think what should be the standardized elements that are required for a bank, where every bank should follow these things. Every bank should follow these things. అనేది మీరు డిసైడ్ చేసుకోండి. You guys have a call, you guys talk, and మీరు డిసైడ్ చేసుకునేసి you write that and submit the assignment by tomorrow's class. Clear?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, then I will see you guys tomorrow.
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Okay, sir.
All right, guys. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.